Okay, well, what we're doing today on this Volvo, we're doing some more little things to get it shaped up, probably to sell it soon. So there's been a small laundry list of things that we wanted to do and needed to do on it to get it to that point. So what we're going to do today is we're going to change the lock cylinders out on it, on the doors and the hatch, because this car has the 760 and some later versions. I'm sure I'll use them, but it uses these are called laser cut or sidewinder, or sometimes different names for them. But anyway, there are these keys that are cut kind of different than normal keys. They have a kind of inside the part that's cut is down in there, and it's got just the regular, more of it up here. I don't know exactly how to describe that very well, but anyway, the end result is these things they're done that way because the idea was to make it harder to replicate these keys, because there wasn't many at that point. There wasn't many vehicles using these kind of keys. Of course, that's Volvo adding to the layer of difficulty and aggravation. So what's happened is these locks on this car have mostly quit working. I've got one left that actually functions, and that's this one. And it kind of hangs up. You can hear it popping when you turn it. But it does work. But when you come back to the hatch, they won't go in on this one. So no bueno. So when you close the driver's door, same deal. Can't use a key in it. So that's just not going to work, regardless if I kept this car or not, because that means that whenever I lock the car up, I have to go in through this side and lock that driver's door and come back and close this door, because you can't lock the driver's door from the inside. That's the way these are designed. So you have to do it from over here. So it means every time I lock it, I have to do it from over here and climb over and unlock it to get in. And it's just a real big pain. And plus, if that lock quits, which it's definitely, shut up, hit my button on my remote, I guess. But if that lock quits, then I'm screwed, because there's no other way to get in this thing without breaking a window. So that's just not going to work. So we are going to swap these out. Went to the junkyard and pulled some regular locks from a 740 wagon. It should just go right in. And so I've got the 2-door locks, got the one marked for the left, and then I've got the hatch assembly back here. Now this hatch assembly, you can probably pull this lock cylinder out, but it doesn't look like it's easy, because it's held in with a, it's held in by a clip, which is no problem. And then you have these, you have to take that, can't ever keep the camera on what I'm talking about. You have to take that C-clip off, so I'm not going to worry with all that. It's working, so I'm just going to replace the entire thing. So we'll be doing that too. And I've got, like I said, I've got the keys. I've got one original key, Volvo key, which works fine, and then somebody tried to cut a spare for it and messed it up. Didn't work. So anyway, now I left one of the keys in that car at the junkyard, so I may go over as soon as I can and get that, so I have 2-door keys. But I'm not going to change the lock cylinder in the ignition right now, because that's a little bit more of a chore. I should, but I'm not going to. So let's get on with that, and I'll show you how you do this procedure. It's not very hard to do, so let's do it. Okay then, well, the first thing we're going to need to do to get to these locks is we're going to need to remove the door panel. So it's not hard to do. First thing you'll need to do is you can unscrew this lock knob, remove it, like so. Then you come over here to the door, inside door latch. You open the door and you take a pick, something similar, and stick down in the center. That's a little rubber cap, and you're going to pry that cap out of there, like so. And then when you look down in, got a screw down in there. So you're going to take your screwdriver and remove that screw that holds that knob on. Loosen it up, pull the knob right off, like so. Then what you'll need to do is grab yourself a flat blade, which I forgot to do. Sorry. And then you're going to come over and you're going to take it and you're going to turn that insert 90 degrees to the left, counterclockwise. That lets you pop that thing out carefully. And these things are fragile. You can see this one's already broke up pretty bad. So now this usually is going to pop out. So I'm going to set you down for a second. I'm going to work on that and get that popped out. Okay then, so I've got this thing, it just popped out once I removed the remains of that little trim piece there. And you got several wires to take loose. Just these are all going to unplug out of here, so you'll need to take those loose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture with my phone so that I know exactly where all these go back and make it easier for me to handle that. So I'll do that now. Okay then, here's the part, do not forget this step. Under the bottom of the door panel you've got 3 of these clips, and right there. And what's going to need to happen is you're going to need to take a tool and these pull straight down. Mr. C got him a new car, trading in his camera there for a new camera. Anyway, just pull them with a little hook and there they come. And what's happening here is there's a... Okay, one of the next steps you're going to need to do is you're going to need to pop off this lens where this light is. You see it's got arrows on it. When you go to put it back on, make sure the arrows face into the door. But when you look in here, there's another one of these small clips right here. So let's grab something and work on getting that out. Shouldn't be hard to do. Let's see here. Just kind of pull, and that frees that end up right there. There's the clip. Let's put that right there like that. And somebody was saying that there might be one behind the speaker grill, but I'm going to look and see. I don't remember seeing one. No, there's not. But, so we can put that back like it was. So now I'm thinking that we're going to be able to get this door panel pulled up and off. And one thing to consider is you got these wires here. Of course, I've already disconnected the battery, by the way. But this latch is going to have to come through that little hole right there, so it's going to take probably some little jostling around here. And also keep in mind that your speaker has wires going on the back of it, so don't, when you get this thing loose, don't just like stand up and try to take off with it. You'll rip the speaker apart. So let's see what we can do with that. I'll try to keep it in frame here. I'm going to set you on the seat. That. Hello. Okay. Let's see what we can do here with this. Oh yeah, okay, I did forget one. Whoops. I see it. I didn't see it when I was... Okay, looks like there's a Phillips screw. Slot's about dead. See that? So, let's take that out. See what we get. Seemed like the car in the junkyard was missing some of this stuff. So. Probably not gonna worry about it. So, all right, let's try this. Again. There we go. Okay. Ground on the back right here. So we'll talk about the speaker wires. See there? Don't rip those apart. Somebody's been in this car already. So, easy. Okay, red. I've got a Sharpie here that I'm going to use to make a mark. So I know one of these wires you saw has got red on it. So I'm going to make a mark on the back of the door panel just so I know which is which. Okay. Oh, one more. It's the light back here at the back. Don't rip that one apart. Try not to. You want to see, got him a new car there. The old Toyota was 16 years old. Yeah, that's funny because people that have the means and the ability to buy a new car, and I'm glad they do, but they usually, you know, they buy cars on a time basis. They don't normally buy them all because something's really going wrong with it, like autos do. Yeah, somebody's been in here already. There's not normally duct tape here, so I don't know what they were doing with the door. Probably trying to fix this lock, but. Okay, now what we got to do is we got to get into this lock, and if you're a thief, forget about doing this with the door closed. You can't. So first thing you have to do, there's a guard in here. You can just see the side of it out there. It's a little plastic channel, but it's mainly, there you go. Get that ass home. It's gonna be let me see if I remember it. Yeah. Ew. Got some screws that retain it. I think this is one of them, and then you take these two down here out also. So let me do that and I'll show you what happens then. Correction, it's not that one. That one may have to come out, but this one's the one I was thinking of. Sorry. Okay then, once I got those two screws here out and the one up here out, this little so yeah, somebody's been working on that. Let's see duct tape in there. This little guard, protective guard, I guess you could call it, just you can kind of wiggle it around and slide it forward and out of your way. And then you can look back in here with the help of the light, the weak light. You can see there's our door lock assembly. And there's not much to that as far as taking it out. What has to happen is, the first thing, you've got a rod in there. If you can see down in there, I'll try to zoom it. Weird spot there. Okay, down there at the bottom, there's a little rod that comes down. Oh, this camera's terrible. Let's try this a different way. Flashlight's going out on me, I think. Anyway, there's a long rod right there you see in the front, and then there's one behind it that's a lot shorter. It goes into a black plastic grommet. You need to pop that out of that grommet. And then what will happen is you're going to come around and you're going to loosen these two bolts and take them out. And that is the metal cage that retains the lock cylinder, so I'll show you that step in just a minute. Well, this screws tight. Okay, I'll just pop that little rod right out of there and grommet, so that was no problem. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this cage forward. I know you can't see my hand in there, what's going on, but I'm working it towards the front of the car. and out it comes like that. And then, that's what you got left. And you got a rod on that thing in there, so kind of be careful of that. But you should be able to work this door lock out. Yeah. Just fish it out of there, hopefully. Here it comes. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. So that's the rod I was talking about there. It goes down to the bottom. That thing's easy to deal with. So anyway, this should be the same that I have over here, except takes a different key, a regular cut kind of key. So we'll take a quick gander at this. Let's see, that's the right side. This is the left side. I brought the yeah, I brought the I've got marked L on the end of it. I brought the cage just in case, but I don't think I'll need those. Those will go in the metal pile. So that's my cylinder. So what I'll do is I'll just swap over that little rod and reinstall it. And it's another one of these cases that everything on these door locks just goes back exactly the way you saw me take it loose. Just reverse the order, and it shouldn't have any problem. And then we'll do a second video about that tailgate because it's a little bit more involved. So, yeah, not really, but it's just different steps, of course. So you need to watch it to know it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Okay, well, when doing the passenger side, it's going to be a little extra work here because you're going to need to take like a pick or something, and this is just a plastic, decorative rubber plastic type of thing here that goes over this pull handle. So you're going to need to take that, pick that loose, and then you need to take the screws out to take this handle off. Now, I showed you, see how far that goes? That probably goes into the door. So, I showed you on the other door that you needed to take that button off, that pull handle. And I don't think you have to. I think the way this thing comes apart, it's not necessary. But anyway, now you know how to do it. Anyway, it's a secret to it. So just trying to pull on it. So these are two different sizes. The upper, get off there, screwdriver. The upper is the shorter, the lower is the longer. So let's see if that'll come off. Yes, it does. So now I'm going to proceed with taking this trim off and this switch out. Not less wiring with that switch, hopefully. And we'll see if we can leave that button in place on this one. Okay, in this video we're going to change out the rear hatch lock assembly on these. It's made as part of the handle and the rear lights. This is on a 7 Series Volvo station wagon. I didn't tell that already. So this one's a little bit different from the doors, but it's not that bad. The first step we've got to do is we've got to remove this very fragile inner panel. This one is not in good shape, just like a lot of them are not in good shape. And the screw stuck in over here to kind of try to hold it in, but it's got these twist clips. You just put a flat blade in these and turn them 90 degrees and it pops out. And had another screw in here over here at one time. And it's supposed to have, up at the top up here, you can peek in right there, it's supposed to have clips that hold that on. And they actually, what you do is when you're going to remove this panel, if you're removing one of these and you never had it off before, these clips are supposed to just slide. They're supposed to be attached to the panel, and then once you get it loose, you've got to have, I think there's a couple bolts in here that you have to access. You can see one of them right there actually. You have to take this trim off. So anyway, this thing, once you get it ready to come off, it's got to slide up towards the front of the car, because if you take these off, and then you just on it, you're gonna break the shit out of it. So it's already broken, not in good shape. So be very careful with this thing. This thing is, if you ever watched through some of my Volvo videos, you've heard me talk about the quality of plastic on these cars, and I call it brachium. It's my own made up name, and that's absolutely the truth on these. This is ultimate brachium here, because you can see the cracks that are already in this, and you know, it gets slammed all the time. It just don't last. So anyway, let's go ahead. I'm going to pull that screw out, and then I'm going to have to take this trim piece out. And this trim piece has got, if you can understand the way I'm going to describe this, is it has a flange on it, goes up, and the flange has got like those little raised spots on it that would like click in around something. So you have to kind of push this down like to the inside to get those dislodged and pull it down. And you know, I'm going to be very careful, but don't feel bad if you break it, because they just break. They're fragile. They're made out of the worst crap plastic that's ever been invented. So, and then I'll work on getting this panel off. Alright, somehow, miraculously, I managed to remove that bezel around there without breaking it. So you can see where it goes up in there, and you can see it's already got some broken spots there. So I'm holding this up with my hand because there's not much support in this. The whole third brake light and everything's just hanging here. So what I got to do now is I don't have to remove that one because it's broke, but that one's still captive. So I'm going to take that Phillips bolt out, and then we should be in position to take this panel loose and disconnect the third brake light and put the panel someplace else. Got this panel off, and you're gonna have to disconnect this third brake light, and the harness that comes across. It's got a plug right here at this far right side, and that connects to this thing right here, and it was actually glued right there. So now you're essentially, let's see, I think this is definitely gonna have to come off. I don't think the other car had this, so because I didn't take that screw out, then it's still up there. So let's go ahead and get that removed. Normally, if your panel wasn't broken in that area, you would have taken this off anyway. So you want to be taking this step. So let's see what happens here. Yeah. Okay. Whoops, there's one part. Oh, that had some water in it. Very nice. Yeah, right down my sleeve too. Okay, I see what it is. We got the back handle here, so let's experiment with this a little. Let's see. Oh, there we go. I had water in it. Oh well. Okay, so this explains all the noise back here that I've been hearing about this wiper motor. This is your rear wiper motor. As you can see, there's supposed to be 2 more bolts in it, and they're missing. So that's something else I need to fix, because it was making a lot of noise back here. It was clomp, plop, plop. So that ain't good. So I have to see if I can get bolts put in that thing. It shouldn't be too hard to do. They're probably pretty common. So I'll work on that too while I'm in here. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take this latch assembly out, and you've got, let me see, I'm gonna go get the other one so we can kind of visualize here. You don't want to end up taking off more than you have to take off. Okay, this is the part we're going to take out, and it's roughly, let's see, might have it upside down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what we're looking at is we're looking up in here. We're looking at the bottom of this, and you see you're going to have these two. You're going to have these two rod connectors. You're going to have to take those loose, and then you've got two wiring connectors for each of the lights, one for each of the lights, and they're in this harness. You'll just have to kind of track them down. I see them up in there, and then it's really, I think, is about it. And then you're going to have a, oh boy, and you can see the head of a bolt right up in there on this end, and you should have access to it, one right there, and then there's two more nuts which you've got, one right there and one right there, and those correspond with what you see on the back of this. Bolt hole, nut goes on. So that's essentially it. You disconnect the wiring and undo those rod connectors, and that's what I'm talking about right here. Those things, careful with them, and then undo your physical fasteners, and it should just pull off the top up here like so. So let's get on with that. Don't forget the rod for the latch comes down to here from that thing there, so be sure you get that taken loose. Won't come out otherwise. Well, in the course of this assembly, I've noticed that there's some wiring differences between the car that I took this latch assembly off of and this car, and notably this one has, well, this is a connector for the rear lights. Harness is still kind of hanging in there, and it's got this connector right here, which may be a ground of some sort, but it's got that extra made into it, and so I think what I'm going to do, instead of trying to, the ends are different too, so I think what I'm going to do, instead of trying to just put the other one in lock, stock, and barrel, is I'm going to combine the two. As you notice, this is the one I just took off my car, the 88, and this is off an 89 740. And you notice one thing's got these nice weather boots on. I'm going to try to reuse, but this socket is different here. These connectors or wires are soldered on, where in mine they just slip on, and that's that. And so that's mainly the difference on it. So I think what I'm going to do what I said I wasn't going to do, and I'm going to simply change the whole lock cylinder out. I'm going to switch them from one to the other. So I think what I can do is I can just pull off this retaining clip, because you can't get that out. When it's in there, you can't just take that out, because I do it as a theft precaution. This goes up against the body of the car. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to remove this C-clip, and I should be able to just swap out these cylinders and be done with it, because the rest of it looks exactly the same. So I'll put you down here. We'll see, give you a little video of that, maybe. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get this clip off easily enough. Pry it down with a screwdriver, off it comes. It's a good deal. And then when you do that, you can have your little latch assembly. So I'm going to lay it down here in the correct orientation. Probably doesn't matter, but makes me feel better to do it that way. So then I'm going to come back and I'm going to work on this clip here. See me there. Pull the clip out. investigate. Okay, let's give this thing a tap. Let's see if it's moving yet. Not yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my old one that I know does not work anymore. I'm going to do it first, so keep the parts here. That way if I screw it up taking it out, it'll be the one that's no good. Okay, take that off. And ding ding ding. Off this one. Huh. Oh, right out. You did not see me do that, okay? You think you did, but you did not. Oh, how embarrassing. It comes out the rear. So you don't have to take that thing off. See, that's the way live video goes. I'm not going to edit that out because everybody makes mistakes. So just remember, when you take it out, you're going to have the little part right here that kind of, this is the part that goes up. So I'm going to pull this directly out of the donor. I'm going to insert it into this one, like so. Put the clip back in, like so. And then I'm going to put my thing on here, like so. Yeah, it actually goes that way. Let me think here. Bad to do that sometimes. Yeah, it goes like so. The raised up parts go out. So then we're gonna get that placed on there. And put the clip back on. It's so damn embarrassing. But oh well, it's the way life goes. What are you doing? One thing in life, this thing has a cutout on it right here, this part. So you need to be sure that you put it the right way. It kind of goes like that and then it stops. So, one thing in life I don't like messing with these C-clips. But there you go. Try our key. Duh. Good. Okay then. I was looking at this. What did that fall off of? Oh, okay. I'll put that back on there. Where are you going? Where do you think you're going? Alright then, I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to weasel these little protective boots off that I like. And so I'm using one. I don't think why they're missing on that one. There you go. That's how you change that out. And it's just going to be simply, again, it's going to be a matter of putting everything back the way it was. Just reverse the order of assembly, and that's how you put it back. So if there's anything special, I'll tell you, but I don't think there's going to be. So yeah. Okay, thanks for watching. Enjoy.